Put that one on and take ba ba da ba 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 da ba da. That one off. There we go, there we go, there we go. Right, we should be back. We should be back. We should be good. You should be able to hear everything. Please, if you can't, tell me right now. We should be back though. I hear you. Good. Can you hear Game J? That's the most important thing. And Swayze, tick the box and talk, for crying out loud.
I ticked the box. I was just waiting for you to get everything sorted, my friend. But I am here and I am loud for the lights of Singapore, Kieran.
Indeed, we are. Please tell me you all heard Swayze then, because if you did, I will do his intro properly.
Ka-ching! While he turns up.
Swayze is crackly. For God's sake, Swayze leaves the party and come back.
Swayze is crackly. Crackly,
Yeah,
crackly.
leave the party and come back. Right, let's do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. Can't really hear game either. Okay. This has really not been a good day for me. Because the game source is up at 100%. I don't know why you can't hear it. Right, let's try again. Let's put the master volume up at 10. That is that. Hopefully you will be able to hear the game. Hopefully you will be able to hear Swayze very, very soon. I am joined by the one, the only, TES Swayze. Good evening, Christ. We do indeed. Right, can hear game now. That is a plus. Just now need to find out whether we can hear Swayze. Is Swayze still crackly, or is Swayze good? Please and thanks. Wonderful world of Switch. Can't hear him. Swayze, untick the box and retick it. Yeah, I've just told him to, Jay. Well, once you've unticked and reticked, say something. And hopefully, all the tech issues will then be done. This has not been a good day for me tech-wise, as Noodle puts in the fastest
Fingers
lap
crossed,
of Q1 so
I
far.
can be heard.
With a 58.688.
Hopefully,
Professor comes with 53.
I'm not crackling, or I can at least be heard at least this time. At least I can be heard now. You can, I can.
You can.
I can be heard.
Sweet.
Am I
You
crackling?
can be heard. Is he crackly? That is the next question, the most important question. Have we fixed everything? Can I relax? He's still crackly. Damn it! I'm not really sure what else we can do, Jay. He's left and rejoined the party. Yeah, I'm
No,
really
we are
not sure.
running out
What else
of
to suggest?
technical difficulties to try and fix. I mean, how else can we do it?
All good. Alright, we will just have to go with a crackly Swayze, unfortunately, guys. Do apologise for that. We apologise for the technical issues to start off the stream. But we are good. We are back now. You can hear me. You can see the game. You can hear Swayze.
Sure.
That is the main thing. We are here at round 3 of Season 5 of SFR. We are here in Singapore at the Marina Bay Circuit, where Vapid Coot, yet again, in normal Vapid Coot fashion, has done his rain dance, and it's wet.
I mean, I'm not sure that's a wise thing to do. I mean, do you really want rain at a circuit where your wall is a centimetre away from you most of the time?
When you're Vapid, yes. Because Vapid is a lunatic and likes the rain.
It's a valid point.
Putting it.
Oh, it's like we have... What's going on down there?
Let's go and find someone
Yeah.
who is on track. Let's actually get into
There is
the
a
stream
horse
properly. Let's get
approaching
shown
the start
on
finish line. I don't know whether they're on a lap or not. Which one it is? It might be Dom the Noodle. It is Dom.
going to be Dom the Poodle, and he goes even faster, 57.4 for Dom the Noodle.
And Kislesko is boxing.
Kislesko comes into the pits. Right, so you can probably
Just
see.
Jordan.
Go on, Geordie. 56.5 from just Geordie. Go on, son.
Good
But you
time
may
there.
see some new names on the timing screens there, ladies and gents. One of them being Just Geordie, of course, joined towards the end of Season 4, is here in Season 5 as a reserve driver. He is filling in the Ferrari this evening. Should also give a little bit of background news. Ajax in 1903 and Kira have both retired from their full-time seats. They have now moved down into a reserve role. We will hopefully be looking to fill the vacant spots in the Aston Martin and the Ferrari teams very, very shortly with full-time drivers. The same can be said for Dirty D as well in the Williams. Dirty D has also retired from his full-time position. He has now taken up a role as a reserve driver, which is why we have got 3 reserves in the lobby today. We should have had a 4th. Unfortunately, Cal 17F1 is unable to race this evening. So, his place was going to be taken by Ikian, but Ikian has not turned up this evening, unfortunately. But we have got Generation A, who is driving in the Williams. As Swayze has just made a very, very strange noise. I think someone has potentially almost died.
Raver they almost went face first into the wall in the Singapore swing section of the track. He did really well to keep it out of the wall and get no damage, actually, to be fair.
There we go. So we will move on to Raver in just a second. So Generation A is teaming up with Constant Ryan in the Williams this evening. We will now jump down to HT1D Raver 2K8 or Tice. He is back in the Aston Martin, teaming up with Leclerc. And then the third and final of our reserves for the evening is... Where is he? Who am I missing? Why can I not think who the other reserve is?
Is it Ikian, the one that you
Geordie,
said?
of course it is.
Geordie. Oh, there you go.
Geordie, Generation A, and Raver. So those are the 3 reserve drivers we have this evening, guys. As I said, we should have had Ikian to make a full grid. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to turn up. So we've got 19 drivers, so it's near enough a full grid here. We have got 8 minutes left of Q1. We can now finally get ourselves into a little bit of commentary as someone has had a bit of an off.
Do we know?
Potentially moving
Do we
out
know
of the way.
if it's a full wet race or whether it's a dry race?
I have not been told whether it's a full wet race or not. I just know the Vac got very, very excited over rain.
Randomly, big impact with the wall.
Ooh, that's not ideal. Alright, let's go for some people who aren't on laps yet. Where is Mr. Sambo? Mr. Sambo is limping his way around Sector 3 without a front wing. That's not ideal. I think T.S. Leclerc has just started a lap, potentially. If we look, he has just started a lap. So Mr. T.S. Leclerc is just starting a lap, but we'll go to the other end of the spectrum. That's Geordie. So that's Sambo coming into the pits there. We got Constant Ryan doing Constant Ryan because Lesko's just starting a lap. We've got one of the Haas's, Antis Beacon. He's had a spin coming out of that final chicane on the run up to the final corner. He was on a lap as well, so that's really, really jeopardised that lap for him. But he's currently sitting in provisional P1, so I don't think he'll be that bothered by it. Matty is on an outlap, so he is about to start his flying lap now. Closely followed by a Papa Goose in the other Mercedes. Oh, rain the joys. Indeed, Mr. Carbon, we have got rain. We're still trying to find out whether we've got rain for the race, but we have definitely got rain in quali. Which is always fun, isn't it, Slice?
It is, of course. It'll make the real battle interesting for going through to Q2, because rain shakes up people's pace. I mean, currently our rain dance king Rapid is still sat in 10th place at the moment, quite significantly way down. I don't suspect he'll be looking to go all out at the moment though, probably just enough to get himself through to Q2.
I just looked at the chat. WRS Cam 10. Can we kill Rapid for the rain? Cam, I did warn you that he's been doing rain dances all week. I did warn you earlier in Discord.
Cam, do we know, is it a wet race?
Yeah, Cam, have we got rain in the race as well, mate? Could you please let us know?
As Rapid does actually
We
move
don't know
himself
what
up
the
to
weather's
fourth.
like for the race. He does indeed. He does indeed. Of course, I am nicely privileged here, ladies and gents, because I am actually joined in the commentary box with a race winner here at Singapore.
Ninth because Leicester.
Mr. Swayze has recently won a race here in Singapore. So we can get wonderful bits of insight from Swayze throughout this race, which is fantastic.
Maybe, I mean, if it's dry. The rain is something that I did not have to contend with myself on the night. I've got to say, it's adding such a unique aspect to the beauty of the cars under the light. The way the raindrops just sit on the halo and around the bodywork, it's really nice. Especially on the Alpine, as the lights just change the colour of the blue.
Mr. Carbon, of course, was on comms for that race as well.
Oh,
Good win.
Papa Goose is in the wall.
Oh dear, that's not ideal. Currently in 12th place.
Of course, I will say in that race, I did get very, very lucky to come away with the win.
Yeah, too modest, Mr.
No,
Swayze,
but also, you know, I had a lot of help preparing for Singapore from somebody who's actually in this race, and I'm going to bring him up. TS Science, and you know, he's found a really good line. I don't know if I see. Yes.
I think it's time for your line, my friend.
Oh dear, as Constant Ryan, yes, he has. Constant Ryan has done Constant Ryan things, even in the wet. I mean, even in the wet?
Ryan is doing Constant Ryan things, and we've lost Goose. Oh, we've lost Goose.
He may not make it back to the pits after his damage.
We lost Goose. Nope, he's ended up in the wall on the corner just as we hit the DRS strike, the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that'll be what, turn 1, 2, turn 4? So that is going to be Papa Goose out of qualifying. So it could be a very, very tough start for the Mercedes driver.
Maybe. This is a camp up maybe when we asked him if it's going to be a driver.
Yeah. I'm thinking that means that it is going to be raining in the race. In fact, let me see if I can grab.
It's a whole new challenge. I mean,
Papa Goose
I recently
is off track.
did my first league race back in F1 XL around Silverstone. Happened to be a full wet race, and like I said, I didn't enjoy it. I don't know whether that's because I'm still learning manual gears myself, and of course the rain adds a entirely different element, especially from the standing start to the amount of wheel spin and how fast you need to change gears is. That's one thing I did learn quite fast. You can get into a higher gear as soon as possible and try and prevent the wheel spinning and the car kicking out on you.
Indeed, we're moving into the final 2 minutes of Q1 now.
This Singapore sling section I'm watching Generation go through is a really tricky section of the track, but I spoke to a few drivers and this year they all agree that the actual final 2 corners is actually quite a unique experience compared to how it used to be. There's only a small lift before, and you've knocked flat out if you got it right, but this game it's quite a different challenge.
We've badly lost Matty.
That badly. Who is that coming up to the line? Is that Cam just starting the line? Yeah, it is.
On board with the wrong car, so let's see what happened to Matty there. It's not ideal. We have lost Matty, the 7th game out as well.
Well, that was not on stream, but I saw it. Mr. Cam
has seen something.
Mr. Cam just started.
Has seen something from Mr. Cam.
Mr. Cam just invalidated his attempt at a flying lap within 2 corners.
It's not the best thing to do, Cam. I'm not gonna lie, mate. I mean, you are somewhat safe for qualifying. This is a very interesting decision as well, because Christo is going to be starting P19. He has not set a time, and he will not have enough time to get himself out and set a lap time now. So that will be Christo down in P19. Sambo is looking to try and see if he can improve. He's going very, very gingerly. I think Sambo may have just set a lap
Thanks,
time.
Carbon, man.
2 seconds faster. Watch Kirby to come up to the line now. Kirby goes slower than he did in his previous lap.
Look at that.
Kirby is still on the brink of being eliminated, and
Yeah, I mean, so I was just admiring the car with Kirby. It's another one of those cars with that shady blue that when you put it in a night race like Singapore under the lights, it just looks epic the way the light shifts over it. Oh, big slide for Kirby there, though.
Ooh, big slide there by Kirby. But you may have seen that a little bit just gone, guys. That was Constant Ryan doing further Constant Ryan things and putting himself at the top of the timing screens even more than he had previously. But they won 55.301.
Still on that. We got Generation A just coming around.
Indeed, he is up on his time as well. He's 8 tenths up. Can he improve on P11?
Nice exit.
He can indeed. 1.2 second improvement. It's up to P7 for Generation A. Very, very strong lap time there from him. Next man to cross the line is going to be Mr. Big Will. He is very much down on his time. I think he's done all he feels he can do.
I feel like science is
Will
done.
coming into the pits. Let's jump onto Raver.
Yeah, he still looks like he's attacking at the moment.
HT1D Raver.
Careful.
Ooh, a little bit of a moment
No,
there.
he's bailing out of it there.
Yeah, he's decided to bail out. He knows he's safe. He is P14. With Kirby going potentially slowly as well.
Tom Gorian. Maybe one to watch.
He is about half a second up on his time, so we'll keep an eye on Tom Gorian. As Sambo retired from the session.
Look how early he's going up to the gears and the right, trying to keep that wheel spin down.
See how Tom Gorian finishes off this first qualifying session here at the Marina Bay Circuit in Singapore. Constant Ryan goes even faster, a 54.7.
Fourth gear, so I know invalidation on the final corner for Tom Gorian.
Lucky Tom.
Just up too much of that inside curve.
I think it would have been about a 56.9, so we'll have a look at the timing screens in just a second, see whether that would have been an improvement. 56.9, that would have been ever so slightly slower than what Tom Gorian had already done. He pretty much done a 56.7. But Constant Ryan, Adam Lee, Antif Beacon, Leclerc, Geordie, Vapid, Generation A, Cam, Tom Gorian, Kislesko, Noodle, Kirby, Sight, and Big Will all go through to the next session, with Papa Goose, HT1T Raver, Matty, Sambo, and Christo all departing at the end of Q1. Of course, a lot of you may be thinking, hang on a minute, Papa Goose put in a time that was faster than Will's. Unfortunately, Papa Goose has also crashed out. So he is out of qualifying completely. It was a retirement for the Mercedes driver, so he will now be starting from P15.
Them are the biscuits if you put your car in a wall, which, of course, when racing at a street circuit and racing at a street circuit in the rain, it's highly likely.
Indeed. Indeed it is. So, Q2. Still wet.
Does not,
Still
does not
very,
look any
very
drier.
And in normal Kislesko fashion, Kislesko, the first person out on track. Likes to get himself out nice and early. Mr. Kislesko.
You're currently sat there on the inters at the moment, just waiting.
So I've messaged Science and Papa Goose to see if I can potentially get an insight whether it is a wet race or not.
I came on Marshall Talent.
Let me go to Mr. Valander.
Just Jordan going well. Quite a long way clear at the moment, got the track to himself. Gotta say, it doesn't look, I mean, there's still puddles in the pit lane. Quite a lot of spray around, I know you can see it coming down, but it doesn't look like it's coming down as aggressively as it was in Q1. But I could be wrong. Could just be a visual effect.
That's a Yeah, it could be a visual, but I can definitely agree with what you said there, Sways. It doesn't look anywhere near as heavy as it did in Q1. It could potentially
Saying that, it looks different when you go on board.
see some. Well, you know what, Sways? If you look at some of the tyres that people are putting on,
Yeah, no, there are
I
quite a few.
think our initial thoughts are correct.
Let's see if any of them actually got out on them. That's the real question, isn't it?
Ooh! Well, Mr. Sways, I just received some
Big
interesting
will.
intel.
No, we do have some out there on them. Yes, intel, intelligence me up, my friend.
Well, I have been informed by a driver who has been eliminated in the first qualifying session that this will not be the weather for the race.
Interesting. I mean, then, although a wet race is always fun, sometimes it can be a little bit boring. It can get spaced out. It can drag on, especially around Singapore with it already being one of the longer races of the season. But the wet qualifying, a dry race scenario, it's going to give us a unique race anyway, I feel, because I feel like the grid shake-up is not necessarily going to be the order that it would have been if it was a dry qualifying. So we might find some people who are used to being higher up, slightly further back, having to work their way through the field, which is obviously going to, for us, going to provide us with a great entertainment, or hopefully.
Indeed. I'm just going to keep an eye on a little situation. In fact, I might ask you to do that, Swace. Just coming up to the final two corners now. It's someone that you queried about earlier. You just keep an eye on that situation for us, please, my friend.
I will.
We'll go back on board with Kislesko, though, because he is on a hot lap. He is the driver ahead.
We do have got some out there as well on Inters.
There are indeed some drivers out there on the intermediate side. We've got Cam, we've got Big Will, we've got Sainz, and we have Generation A all out on track at the moment on the intermediate. Leclerc's just leaving the pits as well, doing the same thing on those intermediate tyres. We'll see what Kislesko can do though as he comes through sector 3 now, under the little bridge that is here, towards the final few corners. So it will be Kislesko to set the time to beat in Q2. The benchmark time for the second qualifying session here of round 3 of season 5 of SFR is a 1:57.476. So we shall see whether that can be bested by anybody. First Generation A on an outlap. Where is Geordie? There's Geordie.
Keep an eye on Big Will and Sainz. I think they're the lead 2 cars on Inters. We'll see there if we get a difference in.
Geordie, 56.1. Very, very good time there by just Geordie. We've got Beacon. I think it's going to be Beacon coming around now to cross the line. Beacon goes 58.1, goes P4. Vapid Coupe has put in the fastest lap of the session so far, 55.3. Who have we got next on track? Is it Tom Gorian? It's not Tom Gorian, it's Tom Gorian's teammate, Adam Lee. He has unfortunately invalidated. He has someone behind him. Is that Leclerc behind him, potentially? There's Leclerc behind him on an outlap.
Whether Adam Lee will go again or whether he will decide to box for the Inters. I suppose we have to wait for the first times really to figure out whether the Inters are the tyre that you want to be on or not.
Yeah, we want to keep an eye on some of those intermediate runners. I think the furthest forward, on the little 2:14.1. Sainz is invalidated, but it will give us a bit of an idea. Big Will 54.6, and Sainz puts in the 55.4, but 54.5, sorry, and it is invalidated though. But that would have been Sainz moving to the top of the timing screens. So I think, Sways, the intermediate may potentially be the way to go.
It's looking that way at the moment. I mean, as I'm saying that, it's looking like the rain is even worse, is less than that, even more so.
Let's have a look as Generation A comes around the final corner now on the run up to the line. Generation A, 52.9 from Generation A on those intermediate tyres. I think that's what it tells you. The intermediate tyre is definitely the way to be going here in Q2.
Oh yeah,
To see all these guys on the wets change over onto those inters.
Yeah, I definitely feel once now those two guys have set those times, the rest of the drivers who are out there on the wets will definitely feel that they're going to have to go in for inters for sure. It's clearly the way.
Geordie's just coming in now. Who's the next car? It's going to be Tom Gorian. He is about 2 seconds down on his time at the moment. He has Dom the Noodle behind him. It is Dom the Noodle behind. Ooh. We'll keep an eye on that situation. Not sure whether Dom is ahead or down on his time at the moment.
Oh, whoa! Big slide there for Will. Just a bit too aggressive with the power, and the Inters couldn't take it.
I think this is Dom the Noodle coming into the pits. It is indeed. So we'll jump on with Mr. Big Will. As Adam Lee also comes into the pits. Big Will rounds the final corner now, comes across the line, goes across the line at 53.9, 6/10 faster than his previous time.
He would have been faster
but
still.
Currently a second off of Generation A. As Swayze did mention, a big slide from Will during that last lap has potentially jeopardised that time just a little bit. We're going to jump down to Cam. Cam crosses the line and goes even faster than Generation A. That's a 52.2 by WRS Cam. Of course,
time.
Last week's race winner. Have to bear that in mind. He won last week in Abu Dhabi.
I have to bear this in mind.
Win of the season.
Constant Ryan. He's on track.
He is indeed. He is on those intermediate tyres. Swayze, you need your phone, so check Discord.
Oakley dokley.
And you'll obviously see why I'm suggesting to keep an eye on a certain situation. We're going to jump to Ans's Beacon. Oh, he has been validated, unfortunately. So it's going to be Leclerc as the next person to potentially cross the line. It's potentially maybe just a banker for TS Leclerc. He's not pushing as much as I think he would have liked to, but we'll see. Good to be getting used to those intermediate tyres and the difference. A 52.612 for TS Leclerc. That is him into second place at the moment as he passes Just Geordie, who is temporarily facing in the wrong direction. But he's righted himself. He is now facing the correct way, which is what we like to see. Constant Ryan has just started a lap. Piers Lesko has just started a lap himself. There's a yellow flag. I think that's potentially Geordie going slowly, or Will. It's one of the two.
I think it's stopped. I never got to see any rain coming down from the sky from on board at the moment.
It's a very, very good observation there, Mr. Swayze. We've got Cam. Is he coming into the pits? Cam is indeed coming into the pits.
If you're going to pit, now's the time really, because you want to time this for your. It's quite a long outlap, isn't it? So you want to time this, but you're really going to be looking like the last one across the line is going to get the best track conditions, really.
Indeed, they will, and we know that. Actually, saying that in recent weeks, it's been Cal 17 F1 that looks to try and cross the line with about a millisecond to go. But we're not going to have that this week from Cal. But could someone else be the new Cal for this week? We've got Dom the Noodle on an outlap at the moment. We've got Constant Ryan coming through sector 3 on a hot lap. So we will stay with Constant Ryan and see what he is able to do. Of course, the first lap time here for Constant Ryan in this second qualifying session. There is the TS Leclerc. There's the TS Leclerc time I was expecting. A 52.0. And there's Constant Ryan. Dog's race.
Doing Constant Ryan things. If you're in the pit though, you know what I'm thinking? There's no spray coming off the track. The tiniest amount.
Are you thinking potential risk for dry tyres, Mr. Spice?
I'm looking at the track from on board. There's a bit of rain on the camera actually, although you can't visibly see any coming down.
Will's had a spin. That's not ideal.
Probably best to wait for play it safe and put yourself through to.
Geordie is there.
I know you stay with the rest, but I think it's probably the safer option. Is the safer option.
Kirby has not long crossed the line. 2 minutes, 0.1. What a lap indeed, Matty. What a lap indeed, my friend. There's Dom the Noodle. Dom the Noodle is 2.3 seconds up on his time at the moment. He really does need to improve. He is very much in the drop zone here.
Yep, 10th place or higher than we did.
10th place at the moment. It's Tom Gorin. He is on a hot lap, an out lap at the moment. Sorry, could potentially lose both of the Haas drivers here if they can't improve on their times too much more. We are approaching the final 2 minutes here of the second qualifying session here at the Marina Bay Circuit in Singapore. This is, of course, round 3 of season 5 of Supreme Formula Racing. My name is Kieran Wright 92, and as always, I'm joined on a Saturday night by the one, the only TES Swayze.
Dom the Noodle, there you go.
Dom goes P6. Will has retired. I believe that's in the pits, so that's no damage there. Adam Lee has gone purple in sector 2. Goes to Ryan at 150.8. 150.8.
That's
by
a
Constant
big
Ryan.
difference, isn't it? It's definitely getting drier.
Just Geordie at 51.7 in the Ferrari.
Contact with the wall there for Adam Lee, but it's still valid. I don't know whether he got damage.
It looks to still be going. I can't see any damage on that Red Bull. He looks to be fine. Someone has had a little spin behind it. I think it was Cam. Adam Lee now coming around the final corner, run up to the line. Adam Lee, can he get himself into Q3? A 151.7
nice.
At the moment. That's the net P3.
That's a good time there from Adam Lee.
Drops TES Science out of qualifying. TES Science is in the pits. He will not be able to get back out and set a lap time. So that will be Science out of qualifying. Ansif Beacon goes P2 with a 151.2. Let's jump to Tom Gorian, currently down in P13. He is 2 seconds, just over 2 seconds up on his lap time. This needs to be a good lap for Tom Gorian, or he is going to be out of qualifying. He has to beat a 53.7 to knock Noodle out of qualifying. He's done it! A 52.9 temporarily knocks Dom the Noodle out of qualifying and puts Big Will at risk. Kirby has retired from the session. Kizlesko is ever so slightly up on his time. Dom the Noodle, can he improve and save himself? Yes, he can! P9 for Noodle.
Look at
Puts
that.
Big Will out of qualifying.
951, 957, 971. But from 8th to 10th, that is incredibly close.
0.02 of a second separating 8th, 9th, and 10th. I think that's just Geordie going. No, that was. Someone's just gone faster, put themselves further up. It was Leclerc.
Rapid.
Vapid has also just gone P2. I'm going to be looking at the danger zones at the moment. Generation 8 is still up on his time. Can Kizlesko, who's ahead?
No.
No, Kizlesko cannot put himself through. Generation 8 up to P8.
And Dom survived by the skin of his teeth.
Dom survives. Barely. Less than a tenth. In fact, no, just over a tenth, sorry. 0.108 separates Dom the Noodle and TES Big
Careful,
Will.
Ansif Beacon, you don't want to wreck it. Wing them is fine, but don't keep them wheels attached to that car. Or you will not
he
be
has.
free.
He's got the checker flag sway, so he should be in AI control. so it shouldn't be an issue.
It doesn't matter if the wheel comes off though, whether it's AI or not. If the wheel comes off, it's...
I'm pretty sure the AI won't rip itself once it crosses the line. So we should be good. But that is going to be the end of Q2. Constant Ryan, Vapiku, Antiv Beacon, WRS Cam, Tom Gorian, Just Geordie, Adam Lee, TES Leclerc, Generation A, and Dom the Noodle all getting themselves through into Q3. The 4 casualties being TES Big Will, Kids Let's Go, TES Sites, and TM Kirby 26.
You got some drivers that are, like I said earlier, with it being wet, shaking things up a bit, you know, that are not where you'd expect them to be, and some drivers that I know that have got pace. If we have a few people trying to push their way through this field later on.
You're looking at that, you're talking about that McLaren in P11 by any chance, Mr. Sice?
The McLaren, also, the Alfa Romeo, if he can put it together and keep it out of the wall, Sainz is going to be quicker in the dry if it is dry race.
This, to me, here we go. Bit of dry qualifying, ladies and gents. You can see the soft tyres there on everyone's cars. Everyone has moved onto the slicks.
Of course, even though it will be dry, or is dry at the moment for Q3, because Q2 took place on wet tyres, they will still have free tyre choice.
Everyone will have free tyre choice. That is the main thing to remember and bear in mind. Every single driver racing this evening will have free tyre choice when it comes to the race.
Which is, from my experience, a very, very, very difficult race to plan a strategy for, because in a moment's notice a safety car can change that strategy upside down.
It can indeed, but as everyone is coming out to get ready to start their first few laps, Luna was here. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Supreme Formula Racing. It was a pleasure to have you here alongside us. Thank you for joining. Whilst the drivers are getting themselves ready to race, and we haven't got any hot laps on at the moment, your prediction for pole?
Oof. Just watching the Geordie smack the wall there. I don't know. I mean, as always, the statement will always stand true. You know, how do you bet against Constant Ryan? It's a fool's errand, but I've got to say, Antiv Beacon was looking quick earlier on. TES Leclerc also looking quick, but I mean, this is the first time in this qualifying session we're going to see the drivers in the dry, so it changes things.
It does. I am going to go Vapid though.
I think Vapid goes into the race.
I don't know. Vapid showed a fair bit of pace towards the end of Q2, so it was on those intermediates. So I think
if we're coming away from the shopping that is Constant Ryan, there's one thing my mind tells me, and that is, it's a street circuit, Karen.
It is a street circuit.
What's the other
know
person
he's very, very good at street circuits.
It's got to be Leclerc, hasn't it?
TES Leclerc, a man who loves himself a street track.
The master of Monaco.
The master of Monaco. The master of Monaco. I can't really think of one. Yeah, I can't really think of one for Baku. Doesn't really work.
The bastard of Baku.
I'll let you say that one because I want to keep the job. So we'll let you carry on with that one, Space.
Excellent. Hold on. Let's just move on from that.
Indeed. Antiv Beacon coming up towards that Sector 2 split now. 103.0 for Antiv Beacon for that second sector. Of course, he is purple, but he has now invalidated. So that lap will not count for Antiv Beacon. So we will jump back to the next car to cross the line, which is Just Geordie. Geordie is on a valid lap. So let's see what Just Geordie can get himself up to. And as I say that, commentator's curse, Just Geordie has also invalidated his lap time. It's down to Dom the Pot Noodle. He does like a pot noodle. He pretty much lives off them, hence why it's in his name. He's been able to keep it clean through that final chicane, so he is going to be the one to set the lap to beat. And that lap to beat is a 36.9. Oh, it's not. It's a 36.1 by Adam Lee, just behind Dom the Noodle, and there is a 35.4 from Vapid. Just going, yeah, this is my world. Oh, Cam! Big hit from Cam as he takes the final corner.
I'm not quite sure how the hell Leclerc just invalidated then.
Cam is currently wingless. He set a time. He is currently P2. But you don't want to get in people's way, Cam. Woo.
Who is going to be...
Almost got into Tom Gorian's way there. Ooh, that would have been very squeaky. Constant Ryan's coming to the pits, interestingly.
Well, you need to go with it being wet, effectively, and everybody having the tyre choice. You've got about 4 sets of, or at least 3 sets of stuff you could burn through if you wanted to.
Very true. Very true indeed. So Beacon is now on an out lap.
I wouldn't recommend doing too many laps on them though, if you were planning on starting on them.
The Baron of Baku. Could call him the Baron of Baku if we wanted to. Yeah. The Baron of Baku.
Very nice! I paid the
win! No, Swage, we said Baron, not Borat.
Yes, but it's got Baron in his real name, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen. Dom the Noodle and Adam Lee both coming into the pits. One behind the other.
I like a mystery circuit. I shit myself.
Rapid comes into the pits. Where's Generation A? Here he is. Is he coming into the pits as well? He is indeed. So Tom Gorian is the next person to come round. He looks to be on a flyer. Or is he going to dive into the pits? No, he is also going to dive into the pits.
Well, you commentating curse that one, isn't it?
And here is Cam diving into the pits. Well, I shouldn't really say diving for Cam. Gingerly guiding himself into the pits following the damage.
That Beacon just started that, yeah.
The only car out on track.
Or
one of 2 cars, sorry, out on track.
Oh, and again,
same
thing happened to Leclerc and to Beacon as well, and Cam earlier on when I mentioned it. Invalidated through that turn 1 complex.
1-2-3 complex is a very tight complex. It's very easy to invalidate your lap times there, but someone who's not invalidated a lap time yet is TES Leclerc.
I noticed that, and I also noticed he was purple in section 2, I believe.
He was indeed purple in sector 2, and he's keeping it clean.
Look at him! Look at him!
He's
dancing with that wall on the right hand side.
To the final corner now. Leclerc goes provisional pole. 35.303 for TES Leclerc. That is a provisional pole position by the chap named Baron of Baku, the master of Monaco. Could he become the Sultan of Singapore?
I'm loving that, but if he's listening out there right now, fuck you, brave bastard. I was literally on board for that final complex, and I swear to God, he was millimeters, and I mean millimeters. You could not have picked up a piece of an envelope and slotted it between his tyre and the wall. It was that close.
And so Beacon is going to quickly rush into the pits for a fresh set of soft tyres. He has invalidated that lap. So race against time for the Haas driver to be able to get himself back out in time to set a couple of laps. So we've got Leclerc. He is on an in lap now. Who is that just behind him? It's one of the Red Bulls. Is it going to be Adam Lee? It is Adam Lee. It will be Adam Lee. Currently in P5.
Yep.
On an out lap. He will be the first person to be setting a lap time in this next section of the third and final qualifying session.
Constant Ryan back out on track.
He is indeed. Coming up towards the end of Sector 2 is Constant Ryan. We'll see what Adam Lee can do. He is now going to cross the line and start his next flying lap. 36.1 is his best time so far. I'm going to look to try and see if he can improve that. 8 tenths away from TES Leclerc. We just put the little gap on there. 8 tenths is a gap separating first and fifth. So we shall see whether Mr. Adamley can improve on his time. He has got a Williams just behind him. I think that is Generation A on an outlap. In fact, it is. Adamley up by 1/4 of a second in Sector 1. So that's going to put him potentially above Generation A, just.
I don't know. Wow.
So, net P4 at the moment for Adamley in the Red Bull, and looking to try and improve on
Carrying
that.
good corner speed. He's got a very unique line through the Singapore sling, I've got to say that.
Let's see what his Sector 2 split time is now. He's got that DRS open. He's on the run up to the timing line. 0.47 up.
Purple 2.
Purple 2, so that's a 35.7.
No, it was not the best line. I think he's lost what he made, to be honest.
He's going to lose a little bit of time through that little complex there. Hopefully he can bring it back though. Adamley now coming up towards the final corner. We've got a yellow flag at the end of Sector 2. Could potentially be Geordie or one of the... Whew, there it is, P2. 35.355, only half a tenth away from TES Leclerc. Sorry.
Impressive time. Very impressive time there from Adam Lee. I have the feeling he could have gone faster. He definitely didn't have the clearance to line.
But stage 4.
We have a Ferrari round, I think. Yep, just Geordie getting that one right there.
Geordie. We've got Noodle. I think Noodle. No, it's not Noodle. It's Beacon. Sorry, on an out lap. He's just about to start his lap now. Tom Goring is about to do the same thing, but here comes Constant Ryan. Doing Constant Ryan things. 34.7 with 20 seconds left of qualifying.
You heard of the irresistible force, the immovable object, and stuff like that?
Slice.
Well, like, Constant Ryan is that of SFR, isn't he, really?
He is. I've just realised something. Leclerc's run out of time.
Yes,
That's quite over for Leclerc. Vapid! Vapid's on provisional pole! Vapid has stolen pole from Constant Ryan!
Can I just point out one thing? That yes, that is a massive shock. Yes, that is something we need to be excited about, because it's going to add extra spice. But a resident man who falls for rain, nowhere during the rain, dries up, pole. am I the only one seeing that, or?
Well, yeah, it's a good point. It's a very, very good point. Ooh, Leclerc is not happy in chat. He's saying that Dom has screwed him. That is not ideal. Beacon, can he prevent Mr. Wet Weather from being on pole? No, he can't. That's P3. And Constant Ryan is on a slow in-lap.
Yep.
Just Geordie is the final hope. Can Geordie prevent Vapid from getting pole? No, he can't. Geordie goes P8. Constant Ryan retires from the session. Vapid Coot on pole.
Okay, it's a good qualifying for Geordie there as well, to be honest, for 8th place as well. So it's a good qualifying.
These are your Q3 finishing times. Vapid Coot is on pole with a 34.565. Constant Ryan in second, a 34.7. Antiv Beacon, a 35.0. Leclerc with a 35.3. Adam Lee just behind him in 5th. Cam in 6th. Generation A in 7th. Josh Geordie 8th. Don the Noodle in 9th. And Tom Gorian will be starting in P10. But of course, because of that wet qualifying, everyone gets free choice of tyre.
If it was me, Kieran, and I had free tyre choice, I mean, everything tells me it's medium. But then I have this little voice inside my head saying, it's soft, there's going to be a safety car within the first 5 laps. And then, you know, if that happens when you're on medium, it's a real fucking pain in the arse.
So which way are you going then?
I think the majority will take the medium and hope that it's clean.
08 start confirmed by TS Leclerc. So we've got 4 minutes, guys. You have 4 minutes to go and get yourself a drink. Quick comfort break before we sit back down and go racing here in Singapore. Who are you predicting for the race win, Mr. Swiss?
You know, he's had a bit of bad luck, but street circuits tend to bring something out for him. I'm actually going to go for Leclerc.
There we go. Need a drink after that lap. You go and get yourself that drink, Vapid. You got about 3 minutes, my friend, before we go racing here in Singapore. So by all means, get yourself a drink. Get yourself nice and ready. Get that comfort break in. 12 of you wonderful, lovely people.
Yeah.
Mr. Swayze is going to go quickly go and get a drink and sort himself out. So you're stuck with me solo on comms for just a moment until such a time that Swayze can return. Papa Goose has left the session. Hopefully he will be rejoining. As I'd hate to see him not rejoin us here for the race. So whilst we are waiting for everything to get themselves underway, it's always a quick reminder that after this race, yesterday's ACC race from Zolder will be going live on the SFR YouTube channel. And at about probably about 10 o'clock, 10:15 tomorrow evening, this stream will be going live on the SFR YouTube channel. So if you guys do want to go and have a watch of the wonderful world of SFR on YouTube, it's a wonderful, wonderful place to be. I'm not going to lie. All of our races do get broadcast onto the channel. So it is definitely worth going and having a look. You've got some of the old school races in there as well. Some of the races from last season and things like that. But that there is the YouTube channel. Someone has read it up early.
So I was about to say, why are we starting? It's not 21:08 yet.
No idea, Jay. We don't, obviously with the new thing, we don't get to see who it's A. So I could not tell you, bro.
I got 5 on one of the reserves.
Hopefully someone will own up in the Discord.
You see, some of the next thing we got new drivers, some of the reserve drivers might not actually know.
We'll stay early. So let's do an oh no, my shoes moment. And there it is. Everyone on those dry tyres. You have got Cam, you have got Noodle, you have got Kislesko, you have Science and Raver, all on the hard tyre. Everyone else on the medium choice.
I think it depends on what you're planning, if you're going to plan to do it a 1-stop or a 2-stop here. It's interesting that there's not a single car opted to go with the softs.
No, it's very, very interesting. No one goes softs.
I mean, if there is an early safety car, it's going to give you that free pit stop.
It is.
I suspect the only way we will see early pits is with damage, of course, at the moment.
Yeah.
It's so strange to see that on McLaren in the formation that.
It is indeed Vapid Q, obviously the man who starts on pole. Constant Ryan just behind him in second place. Of course, current championship leader in WRS Cam, starting down in P6. P6 for your championship leader, WRS Cam. Second in the driver's standings is second on track at the moment. And TF Leclerc, third in the driver's championship at the moment, 7 points off the lead, starts in P4.
I'll tell you what.
Are you ready, Mr. Swiss?
What?
Are you ready?
I am ready. I was actually just thinking of fucking the obviously I've seen, because I watched the stream back, and obviously I know you, Alpaca Carbon in the chat, will know what I'm talking about. And that was the way that a certain driver did a safety car restart at this track, and it seemed to work very, very well.
Did indeed, but here we go. We're waiting for 5 red lights as we're about to go racing here in Singapore. It's lights out and away we go. A very, very quick light there, and Vapid has got off to an absolutely cracking start. Left the others for dead off the line. Fantastic start there by Vapid Q. We're going to jump on with Adam Lee a little bit further down the pack at the moment. He has dropped a couple of places.
Kirby went
Pressure out from Just Geordie ahead of him, now up into P6. Adam Lee looking to try and see if he can bounce back. Let's get the position change up on screen so you can see who has been moving around. Top 2 have stayed how they are. Leclerc is upper place. Beacon has dropped. Adam Lee down 2. Dom the Noodle down 2. Dom the Noodle down in 11th at the moment. Kirby's had a big drop down to last place, 19th place. Indeed, he's going to lose a couple of positions there as well. Losing position to his teammate Tom Gorian and Generation A. He's now got Kids Lesko just behind him for company.
It's a different feeling for the fuel weight in, that's for sure.
Indeed, trying to catch up to Adam Lee. Adam Lee now looking to try and close the gap. Big Will is looking to try and see if he can make a move on Kids Lesko. Let's get the tyres back on screen so everyone can see who is driving what. Big Will looking to try and see if he can improve on the 11th place he got in qualifying. There's a little look at Kislesko there, decides not to go for it though. Vapid does lead though.
To find space for an overtake.
It is a very, very tough track. You can see how closely bunched up the pack is at the moment. Vapid 1:41.4 sets the fastest lap time of the Grand Prix on lap number 1.
Second DRS straight towards the end of Sector 1 is probably your main opportunity, really.
Potentially. Ignore the little timing graphic glitch as always, ladies and gents. Firstly, we are on lap 2, not lap 3, and we are not all a lap down. Someone had a moment there.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I think Matty's had a moment.
We do have quite a big
Matty
gap.
7 Gamer.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Matty 7 Gamer had a moment in the 1-2-3 complex. He is very much off the pace now, Matty 7 Gamer. So a lot of work for Matty to be able to do to see if he can try and catch back up to the back of Kirby. Let's have a look. I can't see any damage on that Alfa Romeo, so I think he's fine. I think we are all good.
Between when just Geordie, Tom Gory, Generation A, Tom Gory, and Adam Lee.
And you can even bring Cam into that mix as well, because Cam's at the head of that, just ahead of Geordie.
Geordie's running very well at the moment.
He's running very, very well. The reserve driver obviously raced a couple of times
Start,
last
I think he
season.
started in 8th, so he's up 2 places. I think he must be about up 2 places at the moment.
Very, very well here as we've got Papa Goose and Raver switching positions. I think Goose may potentially just bounce out off a wall. Trying to see if he can catch up to Dom the Noodle, who doesn't have a front wing, I've just noticed. So it could be an early box for Noodle. Jordy picks up a time penalty. Dom the Noodle indeed does come into the pits. He's going to have to replace that front wing. I'm not sure what's happened there with Noodle, but he has got damage, so he is now going to be at the back of the pack. Bit of work for Dom the Noodle to do now. Your Noodle, what are you doing here, Swiss?
I mean, the thing is, how many sets of hards do you have? And you already started on them, so I think it's too early to go medium. You couldn't medium. You've now got to look at going medium, soft, surely. There's no way he gets 2 sets of mediums to the end from here.
Could it potentially be worth maybe going back onto the hards?
If you have another set, yeah.
The mediums go off?
Well, I suppose that set should really do. I mean, they've only had 3 laps worth of life on them.
They should theoretically still be relatively decent hard tyres, so
I mean, I've seen drivers take them a long way.
We will have to wait and see what happens with Noodle. Swayze thinks either medium, soft, or going back onto those ever so slightly used hard tyres.
Well, on the 2-stop strategy, what my plan was with the soft, medium. I think you had to get to at least lap 8 on the soft, and we've got nowhere near that on his hards already. So it's definitely got looking, it's going to be like another 2 stops from there. As Constant Ryan sets the fastest lap.
Of course, it's Constant Ryan doing Constant Ryan things.
That is true.
Generation 8 has overtaken Geordie.
And he's getting right up there onto the back of Cam.
He is.
Cam is on those hard tyres though.
He is. Generation 8 obviously
he's actually sat in a really good position at the moment.
DRS is open. Geordie obviously not able to take that much advantage of it because Generation 8 has got that DRS.
Adam Lee has got back in front of his teammate Tom Gorian.
That is Geordie's second penalty as well. 6 seconds worth of penalties for Geordie at this very, very early stage. And quite importantly, Swayze, he's used a fair bit of his ERS. A lot of ERS usage there by that Ferrari driver. Will overtakes Tom Gorian for
let's hop back to Adam Lee there. Adam Lee is in the worst state on his ERS, to be honest.
Yeah, he's on a similar sort of line to Geordie. They're on.
But if you
both
honestly
around that
depleted,
30.
look at Cam having to defend on those hards.
There you go. WRS can hardly any battery left in that car in the very, very early stages here.
You can tell how much
easy
power.
is it? How easy is it to regain that battery life, Swayze?
On this track, there is a lot of braking, but I mean, unless you're actually physically, big slide there from Cam. Unless you're actually physically going to turn it off for a full lap, instead of just letting it run on wherever it runs on while you're not on the overtake button, I reckon you could possibly gain about 20% a lap. You need to turn it off to get more than that out of it.
There you go, Swayze saying that you preserve that you can...
as well, you know what I mean? It's alright while you're in the, here we go, Generation 8 on Cam. As I was saying, it's alright while you're in Generation 8's position, but as soon as you're, the role's reversed, and now Cam, while he's being towed along, he's got that opportunity to try and save a little bit more himself, and he's got the DRS as well to help assist with the pass.
Geordie and Adam Lee, getting a little bit close to each other there.
I tell you what, Big Will's catching up to the back of this battle.
The Ferrari. Yeah, there's Big Will.
Tom Gorian's in the pits. Oh yeah, I was wondering where he went.
Yes, Tom Gorian has come into the pits. Drop down to P18 now. He's going to look to try and see if he can catch himself up to those around him as Sambo makes a move on Raver.
I expect the medium runners to go into at least about lap 13.
Kirby there, looking to try and see if he can hunt down Christo, hunt down his teammate. Cam picks up a penalty now. He did so well last week to not get himself a penalty in Abu Dhabi. It's taken him 5 laps here in Singapore to make up for lost time for WRS Cam. Not ideal there. Especially not when you're in the middle of this massive battle between all these cars. I mean, it's what, P5 down to about P9, separated by 2.5 seconds, if that. Very
I mean, Adam Lee is closing ever closer to Cam at the moment. The medium's just so much more alive at this moment in time. And the only thing that's helping Cam stay ahead at the moment is being within that DRS of the car in front.
Indeed, if Generation A can break that DRS, it's going to very much open the door.
Braking zone there, how much the Red Bull is so much faster through the corners.
Just shows the cornering speed you were mentioning earlier on. So Adam Lee was maintaining a fair bit of speed through the corners, had a very good cornering speed. Papa Goose makes a move on TS sites for P11. Adam Lee lost a little bit of time to Cam there. He's going to come under pressure from Geordie.
It looked like it just didn't want, or he went up one too many gears or something and just power lumped it.
Geordie not able to take advantage of that slight mistake there by Adam Lee, who has now fallen out of DRS range of WRS Cam, who himself is getting ever closer to falling out of DRS range of Generation A.
I feel Will might be almost within DRS within the next lap or two.
Could indeed. We're going to jump up to the head of the field now. TS Leclerc within a quarter of a second of Constant Ryan. These guys like a battle, Sways.
Yes, they do.
These guys definitely like a battle. I mean, if you haven't gone and if you haven't watched Season 4 Brazil, it's on the SFR YouTube channel. Go and give it a watch.
Here we go. Leclerc on the
inside. Gets it. Leclerc gets that move done on Constant Ryan. That is TS Leclerc up into second place. And now the battle will be exactly as it was in Brazil Season 4. Where Constant Ryan was constantly trying to get himself past TS Leclerc, but unable to do so. Sainz picks up a 3-second time penalty as well now. Early stages of the race so far, but we have got Cam on 3 seconds, Geordie on 9, Sainz and Christo on 3, with HT 1D Raver on 6 seconds worth of penalties. Points though, whilst we're on the note of points, go down to 15th here in SFR. The top 15 pick up points as Beacon picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's something rare, you don't really see very often. Anti Beacon picking up a penalty. You see Generation A there take the corner there with Cam just behind him. We're on board with Cam. He is our focal point on the broadcast camera. Looking to see if he can close up to Generation A. Most importantly, they have broken that DRS for Adam Lee. Adam Lee unable to utilise that rear wing advantage to try and close that gap to WRS Cam. But as Swayze says, the cornering speed of that Red Bull is so strong, surely it's a matter of time before Adam Lee gets himself back inside that DRS range choice.
Yes and no. I mean, the further the race goes and the longer it takes him, the more it's going to favour Cam on the hards, because the mediums, you know, I said lap 13, so you got to look at it, they're a good halfway through their life now. Whereas the hards, you know, you're about a quarter. So
comes into the pits instead of hard.
I feel like the hards might start to come good in the next 2 to 3 laps.
There you go, you've heard it there first from Swayze, guys. 2 to 3 laps before those hard tyres that Cam, his Lesco, Sainz, Raver, and now Christo are on will come into play.
Yes, yeah, but see, Cam's not exactly been saving energy, but So when he gets the overtake back, it's only it won't be because of that. It is when we get into the switch zone where there's the medium drop off.
Ooh, yellow flag. Got someone going slowly. We have, I think it's Raver going a little bit slowly there.
You know what else we have? We have a T.N.S. Leclerc who has brought the gap from 1.5 to 4 tenths at the moment within a lap or so. And he's probably going to be shaping up rapid for a move down through the DRS zone. There is a really big overspeed through this DRS zone towards the braking. If you get a good exit, the back and got a good exit though.
It's very, very good exit.
It's
but
quite,
here it comes.
Quite a late zone where you do catch them though on the circuit.
It is. It is. You seem to gain the overspeed as you're rounding the bend, sort of where the additional speed of the car behind comes into play. Haven't really got anyone who's coming down the straight with DRS at the moment, but we can sort of do it from Kizlevsko's view. It's about here that you'll start picking up the extra speed from the DRS usage. So it's worth keeping an eye on when we next have a little battle down that DRS straight. I don't know if DRS straight battle. We've got Cam with DRS on Generation 8 here. This one is a little bit harder.
Penalty there for Riva. Speeding into the fence.
And Leclerc has taken the lead. Leclerc has taken Vapid into the chicane.
Oh, I was not expecting it there. Constant Ryan now is right there as well on Vapid.
It is indeed.
This battle's going to intensify.
Battle music intensifies is probably the easiest way of doing this. The top three from last season battling it out. Currently in reverse championship order from the top three of last season. Leclerc leads Vapid, who leads Constant Ryan, and Raver that's Raver. Raver is unfortunately facing the wrong direction.
He just come out of the pit.
He has this. This will give you an idea. Look at how quickly Vapid is able to catch himself up towards Leclerc. Not able to make the move just yet though. Wasn't close enough to Leclerc on the activation of that DRS. Cam gets into a little bit of a tangle there with Generation A. And that sends Cam round. Opens the door for Big Will, and I'm not sure whether that was Generation A. That may have been Adam Lee.
Well, yeah, Adam Lee got past this order.
He did. Adam Lee is ahead of Geordie, so it may have been Generation A that he had along one with. There was definitely a little bit of side to side there between Cam and another driver. It was either Generation A or Adam Lee, one of the two, and unfortunately Cam had come up with
Generation. Oh, whoa! That was close there on the closing. The overspeed from the DRS late on the brakes. Good reaction from Adam Lee there to avoid going to the back of Generation A.
You can see Josh Geordie is picking up another time penalty though. He's really trying to get the most he can out of this track, but he's getting too close to those curbs.
I think he's pushing Josh in this battle. I think that's what he's making mistakes because of it. He's trying desperately to hang into the DRS zone with these guys in front of him. Adam Lee's got another run. I don't think he's going to be time. It's turn one. You want to see the closing speed. If he doesn't get it before, you want to be on board with Adam Lee when he comes up to the DRS, and that'll get a really good feel of it.
So we're going to go on board with Adam Lee now as they round this corner. You can see how close.
Bad exit. That's a good sign though.
Here comes the overspeed.
Oh wow!
Oh, he turned in too early. He's turned in too early for that bend.
And that's hurt himself, watching that.
That has unfortunately hurt Adam Lee there. Sights goes very, very wide around the final corner. Could potentially open up the door for Sambo. Indeed, that is what we mean. We'll see whether Sambo can catch up to the Aussie. Again, the Aussie makes another mistake. But he's got Tom Gorian just behind him as well as Sambo in the Ferrari. That was a very, very good exit by Sambo. He's going to use that DRS. Here comes the overspeed of the Ferrari. Pulled to the left side. That was a little bit close between those drivers there, to say the least. And someone has definitely got damage.
Oh my god! Tom Glory is going right outside of the front. Oh my god! Have you seen what Tom Glory and Sambo? Something's going on down there. This is insane.
Ooh, hey. Just watching from the heli cam. It looks like Sambo's gone. Sambo has gone a little bit too deep through the sling area. He's ended up in the wall. He's got himself out though. He has got himself out. He is back racing again, and now we're going to go back to the head of the field.
Just showed it. He's right on the back there. Adam Lee again.
Yeah, and Adam Lee's on the back of Generation 8. Is he going to be able to utilise Jordan? Here comes Geordie. Here comes the overspeed of Geordie in the Ferrari. Is he going to make a move on Adam Lee? No, decides against making the move just yet. That's another
so much harder when
Geordie.
the car. Yeah, just so much harder when the car also has DRS.
Careful. Geordie needs to be really, really careful of these penalties now. He's got 15 seconds worth of penalties. He's only 12 laps into this race. There's still a lot of racing left to go here in Singapore.
So far as well, no safety cars. I tell you what, now or next lap would be a banging safety car for the medium runners.
Ooh, yellow flag set to 3. That's Sambo. There's Sambo. He's just going slowly into the pits. There's no real danger there. Raven is ghosted. I think that's just because he's being overtaken by Cam. Sambo moving onto those hard tyres. We're going to jump back to this battle because we know this is what Swayze's currently watching. The Adam Lee Generation A Just Geordie Big Will battle, as we're going to call it. It's the midfield battle.
I swear to God, he was so that close that he looked like his nose cone was right underneath the front. He was almost into the tyres as well. There we go.
Adam Lee and Leclerc in the pits. Geordie into the pits. Will into the pits. Cam has stayed out. Everyone's going for the hards. Everyone's going for the hards. Apart from Geordie. Geordie hasn't. Geordie has decided to go for the medium. I think Geordie got stuck in a little bit of traffic there. He got stuck in the traffic of Big Will leaving the pits.
Yeah, he got jumped by Big Will, didn't he?
Adam Lee and Big Will leaving the pits has kept Geordie in his pit box. Big Will, big winner there. Big winner for Big Williams. So he's not driving the Williams this evening, he is driving the McLaren, but even still. Kirby comes into the pits.
I'm probably having a lot more fun.
See Constant Ryan starting to close up on Vapid now. He has obviously regained second place following Leclerc pitting.
So you reckon Vapid, Constant Ryan and Tubby can do top 4 all in this lap?
Sure, they're all gonna, I wouldn't. I'd assume so. Matty comes into the pits from P16. Raver picks up another time penalty now. Let's see. Are we diving in? Top 2 come in. Antiv Beacon comes in. Generation A stays out. Obviously forced to stay out because of his teammate. Constant Ryan comes in to the pits as lead driver. Generation A has to stay out for another lap. Cam is also staying out on those hards, which is to be expected.
Reserve driver in his first race this season in SFR has officially led a race.
Indeed he can say on debut in his first reserve race he has led a race here in SFR. He's trying to make a move on Kislesko, getting really, really close to the rear of that Alpine there.
Adam Lee's just come out behind those cars.
Here comes the overspeed of Leclerc on Vapid Coup, round the outside! What a move! What a move by Leclerc! That's going to open the door for Beacon! Contact! Contact between Beacon and Vapid. Vapid stays ahead of Beacon.
There we go.
But what a move by Leclerc round the outside. That's Sainz going slowly. Oh, it's Sainz round. Sainz is facing in the wrong direction. It's not where he wants to be. Gonna try and see if he can get himself facing in the right direction now. Don't want to put the power down too early because that will result in another spin, which will obviously heat up your tyres more than you need them to. We want to go and look at this battle between Adam Lee and Papa Goose with Kizlesko involved as well. This is your battle for P7. Big Will, you can see him just behind Adam Lee there. He could get himself involved very, very soon. Generation A now comes into the pits. Adam Lee picks up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting and multiple warnings. Ooh, little moment there for Goose.
Kizlesko and Papa Goose are now found themselves right in front of the back of Adam Lee and Big Will that have already pitted right behind them on their older tyres.
Indeed.
There we go, Adam Lee right there.
Here comes Adam Lee. Geordie puts in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Is he going to go for a move down the inside? Adam Lee or Papa Goose?
Contact!
There is a little bit of contact. Is Papa Goose going to be able to hold on to the... No, he's not able to hold on to that position. Adam Lee does get himself up into P7. But you can see just how close this battle is now. DRS everywhere. No way. They're not going to go 3 wide, surely. Just Geordie. Is he going to make the move on Will? Will's looking to make a move on Goose. No moves away just yet, though. DRS assistant helping all of these drivers out. Geordie looking for a move down the inside of Will.
Adam Lee goes a little bit of a slip.
Ooh, bit of a slip there for Adam Lee as well. He is away from Goose. You can see just how close these cars are to each other, and Cam's now going to get himself back involved in this battle. Look at this train of cars. This is a DRS train, ladies and gentlemen. If this is the first time you are seeing a DRS train, you are in for a treat. No, Cam's just boxed. Cam's on fresh mediums. Cam followed Generation A into the pit. There's a yellow flag. Someone's round. Sambo's round. Sambo is round after the final chicane. Trying to come up to the line. Gonna jump back up to this battle. Geordie who bounced off the wall there by the Ferrari, but is able to stay ahead of Cam for now.
He's up the arse of Big Will, who in turn is up the arse of Papa Goose. This is insane.
You just see how close these battles are. Cam looks for something like a Geordie who goes for the defensive move there. You can see how close these cars are.
The braking zone that he decided to pull to the left.
Here we go, we're going to go 3 wide again through the DRS straight. Geordie, fantastic exit! What a move! What a move by Geordie up the inside of Goose, and that's what for Cam! Cam! Contact between the Mercedes! Cam's round! Cam is round! Oh, that's not going to be ideal.
Oh, they've got
yellow flags. Geordie's got too deep! Geordie's too deep! He's lost the position to Goose!
He was tapped! He was tapped in!
He was tapped!
There was contact from the Mercedes and it tapped him into it.
There we go, Papa Goose and Geordie getting a little bit too close to each other. That results in Geordie with that damage now. He's going to have to come and pit again. That's not what Geordie's going to want. He's only been on these tyres for 2 laps.
I believe Cam may also have the same problem. I'm not sure if he has damage. He must have damage after that massive impact, surely, right?
You know what? I'm riding on board. I'm looking at Cam from an overhead. I can't actually see any damage on that Mercedes.
There's no left end plate. No left end plate.
Okay, there is. Yeah, I've just seen that. Yeah, no end plate on that Mercedes. So that is going to affect the downforce spin. It was a very, very big spin. Geordie passes Sambo, who is unfortunately lapped. But here comes Big Will looking to make a move on Kizlesko. He's got the DRS. He's going to use the speed down the main straight here. And that is Big Will up into P7. He can now start hunting down Adam Lee. Beacon now looking to try and hunt down Vapid.
No, Vapid is right there. Yeah,
trying to get Leclerc.
Yeah.
Cam has been speeding in the pit lane. That's going to not help his race.
Beacon, of course, carrying at least 2 penalties, I believe.
Can confirm it is 2 penalties for Beacon. Same for Adam Lee, a singular penalty for Papa Goose. We've got 18 seconds for Just Geordie, 8 for Cam, 9 for Sainz, 6 for Christo, and 17 for Raver. Kizlesko looking to try and get that move back on Big Will. We're going to jump back up and see how close Beacon is now to Vapid. These guys separated by less than a second. In fact, it's about 8 or 9 tenths. Just under a second separating all three of these cars, your podium places. At the moment, Leclerc on those ever so slightly more worn hard tyres. 3-lap old hard tyres there for Leclerc. 2 laps apiece for Vapid and Beacon. We've got a yellow flag. Is that Sambo?
What a battle.
It is. It's Sambo going very, very slowly. Potentially just looking to move out of the way of cars, maybe? I'm not sure.
Cam the top 3 right now.
Has made a move on Geordie. That is Cam up into P13 now. We're going to jump back up. Let's go in the pits. Here we go. It's the DRS battle. Over speed from Beacon. Round the outside.
On the clear as well.
Oh, he's still... No, Vapid holds on. Vapid holds on for now. Kizlesko, Papa Goose and Tom Gorian all coming into the pits now. Kirby is going to profit from this. Kirby's up into P8 now. Following those pit stops of those cars behind him. Kizlesko onto mediums. Papa Goose onto hards. Tom Gorian onto another set of hard tyres as well. Dom the Noodle is going onto another set of mediums. There's a medium there for Dom the Noodle, as you thought it would have been, Twice.
Yeah, it's just whether he'll be able to get those all the way to the end. He might. I think he could. Maybe a stretch the other set of mediums long enough that he is able to do that now.
Generation A ran a set of medium tyres for 13 laps. There's 14 left in the race. So theoretically, Dom should be able to do it. But Geordie has to come into the pits again. More damage? I think Geordie's had to put a scrub set of mediums onto it.
I don't know. Well,
those mediums that he's just put back on are 4 laps old. I think they're a scrub set of mediums.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Here we go, round 3. Leclerc, Vapid, Beacon, overspeed through the DRS zone. No one's really looking to make a move. Vapid is a lot closer to Leclerc. But he's able. So he's not happy on Vapid's
he was close enough that it would have been a legitimate move and he lifted.
Obviously, he wants to try and make sure that he doesn't get damaged, because damage can
With
that
said, you know, it's a long way to go in the championship and you're currently sat in 2nd place, so. And there's still at least another, as you said earlier, 13, 14 laps to go in this race, so there's plenty of time. There's no need to try and force anything at the moment.
Dude, Cam is coming into the pits for another front wing change. He's going to serve that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Because Lesko looking to now try and see if he can close up to Kirby. Interesting decision by Cam. Double softs. I don't think you can run a set of... Well, you should know, Swaz. You can't run a set of softs for 13 laps, sure.
Nah, I think I managed 8. But that was with qualifying. If they're brand new unused set, and if he still has a brand new unused set from the fact that we had the wet quali, I would say possibly you could stretch to 10.
It could be a little bit of time management for Cam, or it's going to be a double soft. As we do watch Kizlesko then make that move on Kirby. That is Kizlesko up into P8. Beacon looking for a potential move around the outside of Vapid! These guys are so close. So close these guys are, battling one after another. You can't blink or you'll miss some sort of action. Here in SFR, Sambo has now unfortunately decided to retire from the race. We've had our first casualty on lap 20 of 31. Sambo unfortunately just a little bit too far back. As Dom the Noodle sets the fastest lap of the race of 38.9 on those soft tyres. No, sorry, medium tyres even.
I suspect Cam will take that away very shortly.
We've got a yellow flag, sector 1. I think that's just Sambo's car coming back out on track.
If you are, I'm not
Car
sure to
will
work.
disappear very, very shortly. Easy way of doing it, just look to see where Geordie is on track. Yeah, it's not Geordie, Geordie's in sector 3. So
The Generation
A
is catching Constant Ryan. And I'm surprised that Constant Ryan is as far back as he is from the lead 3 at the moment.
Yeah.
It's coming down, look. 1.8. It was 2 seconds. It was about 2.3 when I started to notice it.
We shall see how the final section of this race pans out.
Ooh, I didn't need to pick up a penalty. I'm just wondering whether Constant Ryan's just cruising at the moment, trying to maximise his tyre life for a push towards the end.
Potentially.
Even still, I'd still prefer to cruise within DRS range. Get back up to the front battle. It's still spicy. And Tabica's got back a tiny bit. Rapid still within 4 attempts. What else do we have going on at the moment? Not much. As Donna Noodle sets another fastest lap. Yeah, Science picks up a 3-second penalty. I was expecting we would have seen the fastest lap from Cam actually by now.
Yeah, let's quickly jump onto race director and let's have a quick look and see what Cam's lap time was just then. Cam set a... he's just about to finish the lap, I believe.
We're down to now 1.4, the gap between Generation A and Constant Ryan. As Generation A picks up a penalty, as Josh Jordan picks up a penalty. Another one. Oh! Moment there for Anton Beacon, but he caught it. 3 attempts out of the corner onto the DRS between Rapid. Is he going to have a better look this time? I don't think he's just too far back this time.
He is just a little bit too far back.
You know what I think he needs to do? He needs to drop that ERS into lean for that while he's just there in that train.
Potentially.
Because, I mean, if you look at it like this, yeah, he's doing okay at the moment, but if you compare it to Anton Beacon, Anton Beacon's got a lot more attacking power to get attack Vapid than what Vapid does Leclerc at the moment.
Yeah, he does indeed, and of course you still do have to though take into account the fact that Beacon does have those 6 seconds worth of penalties.
Exactly, so they've got more incentive to attack as well.
True.
Because you need to try and make the gap. Yeah, I just see
got
Vapid
very,
having a lot. Letting Leclerc know he's still there. Constant Ryan is still falling back. It was 3.5 when I started noticing Generation A was closing in on him. Constant Ryan is genuinely struggling at the moment, I feel, to keep the gap to the top 3.
Yeah.
And you think that's not something that A would happen with Constant Ryan and B would happen while the 3 cars in front of you are currently battling the way they are. You know what I mean? Normally that's an advantage to the car that's in clean air just driving around because they are focusing on what they're doing, not having to focus on the battling aspect as well. Speaking of, is he going to have a look?
Going to look at
Not
Cam on
this time. Oh, maybe on
side.
switch back. No.
Cam got Sainz. Cam has got Sainz. That's Cam ahead of Sainz into P14 now, looking to try and see if he can close that gap on Christo. jump back up to the front of the pack. Vapid's not able to make a move. Beacon's not able to make a move yet either.
It's Friday then.
Still having it up.
Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday
Tanuki's still
then.
right up and off when you look
Saturday,
back.
Sunday, what?
He's there.
Constant Ryan responding a little bit. The gap between him and Generation A has started to increase now. Back up to about 1.7. WRS Cam is closing in on Christo.
Very much closing in
Oh,
on
no, he's
Chris.
not now! Oh, big moment! Lost it round the final corner.
Same place he lost it earlier. Exact same corner. Cam lost it earlier. And that again is no front wing on that Mercedes. And that's going to force Cam back into the pits again. Here we go. Vapid has dropped Beacon. He's dropped Beacon and he's getting closer to Leclerc. Corbin's in chat. Leclerc's car twice the size of the two behind him. You know how good he is at defending, Corbin. We all know how good Leclerc is at defending a lead.
It's Friday then. It's Saturday,
Managing
Sunday,
it very
what?
well at
It's
the moment.
Friday
It is
then.
TF as well, that's
Saturday,
for sure.
Sunday, what?
Oh, whoa, whoa! As I say that, he had a massive moment. He did well to catch that because it snapped one way, then back the other. I'm not sure how he held that and held the lead at the same time.
It's just the
I
magic
don't know
of
whether that was
TS
on
Leclerc.
screen, but that was it was so fast. The reaction time to catch that is incredibly impressive.
It is the magic of Leclerc. The easiest way of putting it, this is the closest battle we have got on track. We'll keep an eye on the battle between the two. Oh no, F1 traffic. Luna IPv4
At a beacon,
and Key
at a
1-1.
beacon, almost did the same thing as Cam.
Ooh, Vapid! Vapid, I think Vapid went round then. I honestly
Dropped
think
the place
Vapid went
down,
round there.
and he dropped it quite a lot of time as well. 2 seconds. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that's enough to go around. I think that maybe he caught it and brought it back or something. I don't know if it was a full spin or what, but definitely enough that it cost him about 3 seconds. Now Constant Ryan is right there on his ass, and of course they've got just Jordy in there driving for him all.
Just Jordy is of course a lapped car. I'm just gonna let them drive.
But you know how annoying that is, coming back through you like that in the braking sense.
It is very, very off-putting. I know that from experience. But yes, as Carbon says, guys, to the two of you who have just followed the channel, thank you for the follow. We really, really do appreciate the follows. Of course, Key11, another member of the Williams team in F1 Excel, so massive respect to Key for jumping in and giving us a little bit of a watch this evening here on a Saturday night in a very dark nighttime Singapore.
It's Friday
Let me
then.
ask you this.
It's Saturday, Sunday,
Mr.
what?
Karen.
It's
Now,
Friday
Vapid has had a
then.
moment.
Saturday, Sunday, what?
He had plenty of runs at TES Leclerc. He couldn't do it. Answer Beacon's now the corner behind in the DRS. Do you think Leclerc's car will still remain as wide, or do you think Answer Beacon can find a way through? Because I think if any of the drivers out there in the top three he needs to, because he needs to make that time for his penalties.
He does need to make that time for his penalties, but I genuinely think that it's going to be a similar situation to what
Here we go.
Vapid had. He's going to potentially
send
let down
it.
the
He's
inside. He's going to send
contact.
it. Little bit of contact. Does well to hold it. Does very, very well to hold it.
A little bit more aggression than what Vapid had.
Good indeed. Cam is in chat. Unlucky Cam. He has now unfortunately retired from the race. Really, really unlucky, mate. It's just that final corner. Caught him out a couple of times.
Generation A is now right on the back of this Rapid and Constant Ryan battle as well.
He is indeed, but Generation A has got penalties. He's got 3 seconds worth of penalties, so at the moment with the gap to Adam Lee, with Adam Lee's penalties, Generation A will still maintain that P5. But if he is going to try and get himself onto that podium, he will need to pass Constant Ryan and Vapid and then put 3 seconds on them.
Oh, 2 attempts! Look at the gap! Look at the gap on the top! Oh, he's right there!
You can see how close Beacon is to Leclerc. So close to each other. Noodle has moved on to softs, I should say. So Noodle going for that fastest lap.
Yeah, definitely. If you're well aware, you know, things could change in the very last lap to this circuit, as we've already seen.
Indeed, Noodle makes the move on Matty, so that's Noodle up into
I would have done the
P14.
same there as Anthony Beacon. I don't think I would have gone for the pass just then. I think I would have waited for the second DRS. Oh! Moment there, Frank, he manages to catch it, but I think that's going to be enough of a moment that it's going to ruin his attempt at getting the pass on Leclerc this lap, because he bounces off the wall on exit there as well.
It does indeed. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make the move on Leclerc this time around. But Constant Ryan could potentially make the move on Vapid. Vapid holds on to P3, but for how long? And he's got Generation A right behind him. And the ghosted car of Geordie also getting involved in the action. I know how off-putting it is for drivers. We'll come back stronger next week. Hopefully, it will be nice to see you back next week, Mr. Cam.
I wanted to show there was contact between the teammates.
Constant Ryan has a moment there. Geordie's round!
It's just Geordie round. Yeah,
Just Geordie has had a spin.
Is there contact again between the teammates? I'm not sure if he was put off by the ghosty and sideways, but definitely I was on board with Generation A and he definitely reacted to something.
Potentially then, I'm not sure. We were watching from Constant Ryan's ball on board from the stream's point of view. But still, Anthony Beacon here pushing for Leclerc. Can he get past that Aston Martin? The man who has made his car as wide as this Marina-based circuit. We are on lap 28 of 31 here in Singapore.
He needs to stay behind through this first couple of corners, and he needs, I think, within 3 attempts and a good exit, he needs the good, that's the vital key to getting for this pass here. You don't get like that twitch, that's just a small twitch, but yeah, it's only a small twitch, but it's just enough that
he's going to have the overspeed. He's going to look to go up the inside. No, decides not to.
Without the twitch, though, he'd easily been alongside. Do you not think?
Yeah, for sure. Without that little twitch, he would have been right there. Constant Ryan battling with Vapid. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Who's that round? Is that Sainz? It is. It's Sainz. Sainz is round on the chicane.
Unlucky for Sainz. I dropped back and I'm currently watching the battle for the 3rd place podium spot.
Kizlesko comes into the pits, puts on a fresh set of soft tyres, looking to try and see.
I suspect Sainz will do the same course with that fastest point being available to everyone.
Indeed. All important thing to remember and bear in mind, fastest lap is available to anybody. Carbon makes a very, very good point. Magnet, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, my friend. Carbon's made a very, very good point. Even if Antif passes Leclerc, he still won't gap the 6 seconds in 3 laps.
Definitely not. Oh my!
Let's see how close.
I'll tell you what, Generation A is having to lift quite a lot. He almost was. Whoa! I don't know, that might be
I think that was just a game.
Yeah, I'd say all of a sudden his quad darted.
I think that was just graphical. But that was a much better exit by Anthony Beacon this time. Is he going to be able to potentially make a move on Leclerc now? Here comes the other speed of the Haas. Leclerc defends the inside. Anthony Beacon's going to have to go round the outside of TS Leclerc. If he wants to get the lead of this race, he's not able to do it. TS Leclerc holds on to the lead of this Grand Prix for now. but Beacon will
Bang on.
definitely look to come back at Leclerc again. Go ahead, Tom.
You're bang on right there, you know, when you say, you know, what we just talking about. He got so much a better exit, and that enabled him to get such a better attacking run there at Leclerc. But Leclerc, his defensive driving, it's simply sublime, isn't it?
Definitely. Donald Neal picks up a 3-second time penalty. With me a second. Sorry about that, ladies and gents. Just had to reply to a message. Sainz has retired from the session. I think Sainz has Sainz lost it.
Yeah, DNF coming out onto the. Yeah.
Oh, he has. Yeah, he's lost his front right. He's lost his front right. This is obviously enabling Leclerc to put a bit of a gap between himself and Anti Beacon now. All importantly, looking now, I've just realised, Swayze, following Vapid's mistake, Antiv Beacon is on for a P2. The gap between Antiv and Vapid is 8 seconds. Antiv only has 6 seconds of penalty. Here comes the overspeed again. Antiv Beacon looks on the inside this time. He gets him. He gets Leclerc up the inside.
I don't think Leclerc would have fought it too hard. I think Leclerc was smart enough to know that the win is still his.
Leclerc knows that he just needs to stay within 6 seconds of Antiv Beacon within these next 2 laps, and he will come out as your race winner here in Singapore. Just Geordie has picked up the fastest lap of the race. I'll go back a little bit further and have a look at this little battle between the 2 Williams drivers and Vapid. Adam Lee is looking to potentially get himself in there. There we go. Carbon said it in chat there. Smart from Leclerc. Let him through. Didn't want to be involved in an incident.
Yep. I totally agree. I would have done the same thing. It's smart driving. And, you know, that's the type of driving and thinking that puts you in contention for titles.
Indeed. You can see Adam Lee just sculpting out to see if he can potentially, just scouting ahead of him, looking for a mistake from one of those cars ahead of him. I will say, Adam Lee has already had the fuel light. He had the fuel light flashing. Yeah, but he had that fuel light flashing twice before he even crossed the line to start his final lap.
Generation.
Could be very, very close for Adam Lee towards the end here. But here comes the battle for the podium places. Constant Ryan versus Vapid versus Generation A. Here comes Constant Ryan.
You ever get the feeling
Gets
Constant
the
Ryan
move
waited for
on
the last lap
Vapid.
to do that?
Potentially. Generation A is going to look to potentially move on Vapid. Who's going to get the better traction going into the next corner? Generation A just gets his car ahead of Vapid. Is he going to be able to get ahead of him? Drag down into the flame.
Oh, they're contact.
Generation A does get ahead of Vapid. He jumps Vapid, but of course the penalty situation isn't going to help Generation A. He is going to lose that P4 unless something catastrophic happens behind him. And Vapid Coupe drops 3 seconds, which I think is going to be very, very unlikely.
Adam Lee right there was looking and weaving, but he just could not find a way in between Vapid and Generation A.
He can't. We're going to jump though.
Oh, he's about to go his round. There's a bit of contact with. Is that supposed to do this?
That's not ideal, but we're going to jump to Antiv Beacon. He's going to cross the line in first place, but he's not going to be your race winner, because there is your race winner. TS Leclerc wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Now we wait. Is Constant Ryan going to get third place? He is indeed. Generation A does drop down to P5. That is Vapid finishing in fourth place. Adam Lee in sixth. Here comes Big Will. He jumps Adam Lee into sixth place. And now we just wait for the rest of the field to come in.
Strong finish from McLaren. Fourth and sixth overall.
For TM Kirby. He comes up to cross the line now. Dom the Noodle finishes in 12th. Christo in 13th. There is Kirby crossing the line in P8. Tom Gorian rounds the final corner now. Dom in 12th. Christo 13th. Matty 14th. Geordie 15th. Raver finishes in 16th. Papagoose gets P10. And Kizlesko rounds off your grid with a P11. Whew! What a race.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Kirby picks up driver of the day from the game. You know what? I'll agree with that. Kirby for driver of the day. A very, very good drive.
Definitely some unexpected events there throughout qualifying and the race.
Indeed, it was. But here are your final race results, ladies and gents. T.S. Leclerc picks up the race win. Antiv Beacon in second. Constant Ryan third. Vapid in fourth. Generation A on debut as a reserve in fifth. Big Will sixth. Adam Lee in seventh. TM Kirby in eighth. Tom Gory in ninth. Kizlesko in P10. Rounding off your top 10. Papagoose in 11th. The last of the drivers on that lead lap. Don the Noodle in 12th, a lap down, along with Christo in 13th, Matty 7 Gamer in 14th. Just Geordie picks up the final points paying position in 15th, with HT 1D Raver in 16th. And then we have the three drivers who unfortunately DNF'd in TES Science, WRS Cam, and TES Sambo. Whew. What a race. What a race indeed.
Oh, for sure.
Right. The podium places into the party with us.
I mean,
Let's get.
what was it you asked me at the start?
Where is Leclerc? There is Leclerc. Where is Constant Ryan?
Not where he should be. Not where he is at least.
Let's
But that is because,
Constant
like
Ryan
I
as well.
said to you earlier on, Kieran, if there's a man out there you want to bet on when it's not Constant Ryan and it's a street track, it's that man T.S. Leclerc.
It is indeed. We'll invite Beacon in just in case he does want to jump in and have a little chat with us. And obviously, I'm not sure whether he has got a headset or not. But we will quickly have a chat with our podium places. We'll start off with Constant Ryan. Shane, interesting race from you there, my friend. Obviously not the most ideal race for you. Not as high as you would have potentially wanted to be, but how was the race for you?
I'm happy with the first stint. Qualifying to beat people on the controller in the wet in Singapore was, I was pretty happy with that. I didn't really have the time to put the practice in I wanted to do this week. I put in yesterday. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I got screwed over in the pits. I got held, and then I had a lap car trying to battle me, and he was on tires that are way fresher, but he couldn't pull away, so couldn't quite get the hints to kind of piss off my rear end and show me zero respect. So I'll remember that next time I see him on track. But yeah, I'm happy to get P3. I was happy with that. And well done to Beacon and Clerk and Vapid as well, who all drove very great. And Vapid in a very nice pole lap. I was a bit raging to mess up my first lap in Q3 because that kind of cost me going for pole, because I kind of had to be a bit conservative on my lap to make sure to keep it valid. And the track was still getting faster with the wet being just still drying up, should I say. But yeah, I'm really happy with P3, to be honest, considering I was disqualified in this track last year. It's a bit of an improvement. But yeah, I'm happy enough, to be honest. The 10th race, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, it was a very, very intense race. But as you say, big improvement on the last time you were here in an SFR race. So nice to obviously get yourself on the podium. I mean, you had the strong start towards the end of quali anyway. Vapid just pipped you, of course, to that pole position, but he seemed to get away really, really quickly off the start. Were you expecting Vapid to get such a good start?
Yeah, pad traction. I always expect that. I didn't warm up my tyres properly, and the warm-up lap was my own fault, to be honest, for getting distracted on my phone. But Never look at your phone on a mobile app. But yeah, I was expecting that to start. Well, it's Pat Traction and Vapu did a good job as well. Like, you can't, the controller did nothing on its own. But yeah, it was good. I had a bit of a tussle with Beacon at the start. I just keep on getting tied with the car. For some reason, Williams and Haas is like each other, just tied up together. But yeah, I hope I didn't get any damage because I didn't really mean to have a contact. I just kind of got a bit of understeer. But yeah, I was just hoping for the podium the whole week, to be honest. France is one of my favourite tracks, so hopefully I can do a little bit better there. Podium again would be nice, but a win obviously is ideal, but things that rarely go to plan really. But yeah, I'm happy enough with P3, to be honest.
That's very, very good. Swayze, anything from you quickly for Constant Ryan before we move on to Beacon?
Yeah, I mean, another solid race weekend for you. Obviously not top step where we normally see you, but overall a strong race weekend and good points. I'm not entirely sure, but if you do count, obviously good points for Williams this weekend with your teammate being not too far behind you on track. And in fact, maybe having a couple of goes at you during the odd occasion in that race.
Yeah, that was the genius of lap car. Kept on holding me up every time he dive on me. I couldn't see my line because I don't use any racing line, don't forget. So it's completely ruining what my braking references have a guy dive on me every couple of seconds. That was costing me. I was starting to catch up to Beacon, but then got dive bombed by Hero on mediums. But yeah, P3, I'll take that. It's only 4 points of difference. So
we did see what you just mentioned there on stream, and unfortunately, it's just one of those things with the lap cars, isn't it? Unfortunately, it is what it is. But I understand myself how annoying that is. So, but great drive overall, mate. Congratulations on P3.
Thank you.
Indeed, it was. Moving on to second place now. Antif Beacon, someone we've not had a chat with before in the world of SFR. Firstly, welcome to SFR. Of course, this is, as we said, the first time we've had a chance to chat with each other. The penalties let you down tonight. You got a P2, but surely you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, so it's great to finally be here and finally be on the podium. It's been a frustrating first two races, but yeah, very, very happy to finally be up here. Yeah, it's annoying. I came in with not a lot of practice on the medium tyre. I'd done a stint on the hards and quali on the softs. And there was a lot more understeer than I thought. Picked up a lot of warnings early on. I think I had 4 in the first 10 laps. So yeah, sort of let me down already from there. But yeah, it was a decent start. Went quite well. Got a bit held up. Yeah, battling with Ryan and then Leclerc as well, who I was never really able to get past until the end. But yeah, it was a bit of a frustrating race because I feel like I did have the pace even with the penalty to win it if I wasn't stuck behind Vapid and Leclerc for a while. But that's the way it is. You have to be able to overtake, and this just isn't really a track where you can do it too well. Yeah, bit annoying, but yeah, very happy to finally be on the podium.
It's very, very nice to have you on the podium. Obviously, this is your debut season here in SFR, teaming up with Dom the Noodle. Do you and Dom have a chance to chat pre-race or anything like that, or did you sort of just focus on yourselves?
Yeah, a little bit pre-race and post-race. Do tend to just give the little just rundown on just make sure we know what we're doing strategy-wise and not holding each other up too much. Because I know Australia was a little bit of a mess for us. Well, I thought I had a bit more pace, and he thought he had a bit more pace as well. So we were sort of battling because we both thought we were quicker. So yeah, we've sort of, I think, fixed that issue now, and we do have a little chat about it all pre-race just to make sure we sort of know what we're doing.
It's always good to hear. We've got France next week. How are you feeling about the prospects of the Circuit Paul Ricard next Saturday night?
I think the next 4 races in the calendar I'm really looking forward to now. I feel like if I had to pick some fairly bad races for me at the start of the season, in the sort of top half of the list would be Australia, Abu Dhabi and Singapore. So I feel like we're into a bit of a run of races that I prefer now, a little bit more racetrack. You have a bit more freedom to pull off moves. No last minute dives to the inside. That was a little bit leery. The rear end was not holding on at all by the end of the race today. So yeah, I think hopefully next couple of races, especially Paul Ricard, should be quite nice for me. I hope. Fingers crossed.
Fair enough. Swayze, anything from you?
Yeah, of course. Welcome, as Kieran said, to SFR. It's been a great You say earlier it's been a bit unlucky start for you with your track, on favourite tracks, but you just said these are not really your favourite tracks, but yet you still managed to find yourself on the podium. So that's got to be a positive of great things to come when you do get on tracks that you do like.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. Yeah, I just think generally I've had a lot less time to practice and sort of build up the race prep. I think hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'm going to have a lot more time to do that, sort of focus on really get to grips with this game, because I think this is only the third league race I've done on this game full stop. So I just really do need to sort of fine tune this game, and I feel like by the end of all of the races I'm really getting used to it. I'm sort of on the pace a lot more. It's just unfortunate at the start of the race I feel like I maybe take a little bit longer to sort of learn the track and get used to the fuel loads, get used to the conditions on track and the tyres. But hopefully if I can sort of have the pace that I tend to have compared to everyone else at the end of the race a little bit earlier on and find myself in a better position, hopefully that should fix most of the issues I've had this season. That's that's the plan. Whether it turns out that way or not is a complete other question.
That is always another question, but it's great to hear that there's more yet to see from you, and we look forward to seeing it. Again, congratulations on second place tonight. Well done.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
good luck with the rest of the season, my friend.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll speak again.
Indeed, definitely. Congratulations to Beacon there. On to the race winner. Very, very briefly, have a quick chat with Mr. TES Leclerc. Jay, another race for you, bud. How you feeling?
Yeah, really good. Bit peeved off after qualifying because I felt there was more time in there, and then I got put in a wall. So, yeah, managed to make up for qualifying at least, and felt like I had good race pace, and another street track, another win, 2 wins from 3. Can't really complain.
Indeed, you can't. You're getting a bit of a title now. The Master of Monaco, as Swayze said, the Baron of Baku, and the Sultan of Singapore. You are gaining a few titles, Mr. Leclerc, for your constant wins around street tracks. Obviously, you have Beacon behind you with those penalties. You let him pass towards the end of the race. Was that a tactical thing? Or?
It was, because when he got past me, I wasn't expecting him to go for the move where he did because of how narrow the angle was. But I thought, well, rather than a potential accident, just let him go and save fuel, basically, because I was quite low in them last 2 laps. So save fuel, stayed within the 6 seconds I needed, and yeah, managed to pick up the win.
You did indeed. That is win number, I think, 2 for you this season now?
Yeah, second. 1 in Australia.
2 wins already. We are 3 races into the season. This will, of course, take you back to the top of the drivers' standings. How do you feel your first 3 races have gone so far this season? Obviously,
Abu Dhabi could have gone better, but it's racing, stuff happens, and I've got no one to blame but myself after Abu Dhabi. Lost it, fighting for the lead. So I know the pace is there. I managed to sort my qualifying out from the last game because that's what let me down most of the time. And yeah, managed to sort that out, and race pace seems good. So hopefully can push on and put more of a title fight up this season, especially with the new point system.
indeed, definitely. Those top 15 for the points finishes plus the fastest lap anywhere on track is definitely changing a few things in the world of SFR. But Swayze, anything from you for our race winner?
Yeah. I called it. No, man, as I said earlier, he's got such a reputation on street circuits. His defending, it was sublime tonight. Once he got in the lead, absolutely deserved a race victory once he got there and held it. Congratulations, Jim. You do what you do on street circuits and always done. Shine.
Thank you very much. 2 race wins in 2 nights. Can't really complain at that.
No, well, let's hope it's a sign of your season to come.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a while. I think season 1 since you won SFR.
Yeah. I'm on the comeback.
There we go. He's on the comeback
You definitely
train
had my
indeed.
foot.
Well, massive congratulations to TES Leclerc for the win here this evening in Singapore. And I've just realised I've had Beacon's car in front of me the whole time. I do apologise that we've done the entirety of Jamie's interview with the Haas on screen. We'll put the Aston Martin on for the rest of the stream and the outro to make up for it. But a massive congratulations to TES Leclerc for the win here this evening. That is, of course, going to bring us to the end of our broadcast here for SFR Season 5 at Round 3 in Singapore. Myself and Sways will, all being well, be back next Saturday for Round 4, where we head over to the Circuit Paul Ricard in La Castellet in France. Hopefully, you guys can join us then. But until next time, ladies and gents, from myself, Kieran Wright92, and TES Swayze, a massive thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Thank you for watching SFR, where competition is key. Enjoy your night, guys. Goodbye.